Haters gonna hate. Win anyway. Winning is the best form of revenge. Okay? That's what I'm hearing, is that you're rising higher, chosen one. You're rising into your true self. Maybe you're sinking into your true self. Either way, true self is being embodied. Is it up or is it down? Is it as above, so below? What is it? Which direction is it? Is it within? I'm going within. I'm going deep into my authenticity today. I'm just really feeling it. Just feeling it, okay? This is a very serious reading, okay? See, because what I'm getting is that you let go of taking it so seriously. That's part of the temperance that you go through too. As somebody who shines, is that you bring out the insecurities of other people. As you start unapologetically shining your light and being your true authentic self, it cannot help but trigger people. Okay? And that trigger is not something that you should apologize for. It's something that you're actually offering as gift. You shouldn't have to apologize. You're coming from a good-hearted place, being your authentic self. And if people are demonizing you based off of that, then that's really a projection of their own shadow and the stuff that they haven't worked through, and maybe even the parts of themselves that feel insecure seeing you shine so bright. And so if you're somebody who has been an empath in their life, you early on as a child may have actually dimmed your light in order to make other people feel safe. And does that explain to you why throughout your life you've always had people kind of like turn on you out of nowhere and just like flip out? That's like out of proportion, is because there's something about your light that triggers them, that hits a shadow inside of them. But in fact, you should shine brighter, because that is actually the very alchemy that people need to transform. And so, as you shine brighter, it's going to bring up things for other people. You're going to get negative comments. But one thing that I've learned in practicing and learning alchemy is something called the reconciliation of opposites. And if you study old alchemy or Western magic, this is the goal of the great work. Carl Jung, his work was inspired by the same things that I'm talking about. I'm talking about what goes back to the ancient Hermetic wisdom, but he was practicing Gnostic. And you can look this up. He hid it in his lifetime because he would have been burned at the stake. Okay? So he helped be a bridge for people to understand. So he's the one who coined the term shadow work. Now this comes from alchemy. This is the goal of alchemy, is to unite both polarities, right? So without getting too much in the philosophy of that, because like I also have been feeling really called to do a series on the Hermetic principles. And I've kind of been putting it off because I feel intimidated about working with Thoth. And I feel very honored that I feel him knocking. And I just really want to do his work justice. So I just want to let you guys know that that's something that's been going on for me. And that's kind of why I've been avoiding it a little bit. But I'm feeling like it's actually really important that we get this out there. So anyways, going back to that, without going too much in the philosophy, because we'll be doing that another time, just to go into how this practically applies. As you start blowing up, right? As you start shining your light, as you start sharing your gifts with the world, your level of comfortability with receiving hate is going to be proportionate to your ability to hold love. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but by doing the shadow work and being okay with people hating you and saying you're like just some crazy new age hippie Satan worshiper, blah, 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 blah. Just total ignorant projections of their own stuff, right? I'm okay with you not liking me. I'm not going to dim my lights. You don't control me that way. I'm doing you a service. You can either sit here and be triggered by my authenticity and do some alchemy with it, or you can do whatever you want with it, or you can click off the page. But I am comfortable with that because I know I'm actually doing a service to the world by being true. Okay. And I believe that that is being truthful to God, actually, is being truthful to yourself. Okay. And um, yeah, so being comfortable with, there's actually an alchemical shadow work process that you can do around this where you actually embrace the idea of people not liking you. And I know that sounds crazy, like it's like this idea that you should just be meditating on light. But no, when you go into the shadow, you'll find that part of the reason why you don't post on social media when 99% of the planet are consumers and it's like there's very low competition. And part of the reason why, if you're in that arena, obviously this can apply to other areas of life, like whatever you're progressing in, or the reasons why you hold yourself back from saying something or sharing your gifts on a higher level of being seen on a higher level, of being loved and appreciated on a higher level, which requires people seeing what it is that you have to share, is because of an innate fear that we have that we won't be accepted, that we won't be loved. And until we integrate that part of our shadow, it is going to sabotage us. And as we actually bring that into awareness and love, like I'm talking like viscerally, somatically love that part of ourselves, we actually liberate ourselves from that subconscious pattern of holding back our lights and sharing our gifts because we don't care. Like suddenly, like not only do I not care, I'm okay with being disliked. I'm okay with that. And it's like the ability to hold that is also my ability to be loved and adored by people at the same time. It's something trippy about that I'm feeling for people who are like that. If you're expanding, and you start catching flack, there's this phrase, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, was coming in before I started recording this reading. And I was reflecting on that and I was like, actually, they're helping you. The haters are helping you. When they comment on your stuff, they're helping your algorithm. If they say something to you that makes you question yourself, they're helping you because it's just bringing up another part of like, oh, they're just playing the trickster in my reality, trying to get me to doubt myself, trying to get me to dim my light. Oh, thank you for triggering that part of me so I can see where I'm not free. Oh, let me liberate that. Now, next time it hits, oh, suddenly I don't feel triggered by somebody thinking I'm a bad person for saying my truth online. Oh, wow, I'm glad that I'm freed of that now. Now, of course, I can still have boundaries with that or boundaries with someone, but you see what I'm saying? Because within every one of us is a scribe, is a sacred channel. There's a truth inside of you that wants to come through. And I'm seeing this sacred language that's connecting all of these different wisdom traditions of the earth streaming down here with this crown of the scarab. It's like this is also the air element, right? Which represents the sword. It represents the intellect. You can see the sword right here with the third eye. These cards, by the way, are from Dreams of Gaia deck. If you want to find any of the decks that I use, you can go to my Amazon storefront if you want to support the channel for your next tarot deck purchase. You can find that in my link in bio. Anyways, so because people were asking me what decks I use. So this air element is the ability to translate the spiritual into the physical. And you have a gift of your own unique channel, of your own unique truth, your own relationship with the spiritual realm that's meant to be translated through you in only the way that you can do. And I'm also seeing the bee here. It's like that beehive consciousness. It's like that's the way that you pollinate your codes out with the collective, right? And that you weave your myth, you weave your part of the thread of the tapestry, you bring in your own um, contribution to expression. And as you step forward into this expansion, it's going to bring up blocks within your chakras. Like one of the big ones is it's going to bring up blocks in the throat chakra as you step into speaking your truth, and especially if you were shut down in the past and you felt like you had to hide yourself because of fear of being attacked. Those feelings are going to come up as you start to step forward and share your truth more openly. And then if you've ever heard part of the medicine is contained in the poison, this applies to the example of snake venom. The antidote to a snake bite is a very small amount of that venom is what creates the antidote. It's this idea that when you step forward into your truth and you get bits of those backlash, if you continue forward without letting those shut you down, they actually act as the catalyst to liberate you because you no longer care. And then like you start getting way and way less and less and less of that and more being received. And then it goes down to about 1% haters, 99% supporters. Okay. So there's something in that here with your process of healing. Also, we've got Druidic medicine here with the Celtic knot. So somebody could have Celtic ancestors or just feel connected to the Druidic line. Here I'm also hearing Avalon, and those also connect to the Christos and Sophia, the Magdalene lines as well. Whoever that's for, I'm also seeing frogs here. That has to do with fertility, that like fertile in your creation. As you go through this healing around your expression, I'm also seeing the serpent on the staff here representing the Kundalini, representing the rising life force, the cerebrospinal fluid, the inner Christos oil, rising as you clear these blockages, right? And that's part of becoming a clear and open channel that I teach too. Is the opening of the energetic channel is also the energy work. And then there's also the element of how it turns on your intuition. And then there's also the element of channeling. It's all connected. What else wants to come through? Yes. Got 9 of air. This is all about self-realization, the cutting through of illusions, and being connected to the cosmic web. And I've been pulling this a lot recently. So I want to pull one from the Beyond Lemuria. So I'm feeling guided. And I'm hearing never stop. Don't stop believing. Balanced forces. So now is a time to really utilize this dance of light and shadow to balance out your energy, balance out your frequency, your vibrations, so you can be in a state of wholeness. I'm also seeing the eclipse here at the top, which represents the union of the sun and the moon, the masculine and feminine energies within ourself. And it's also, I'm seeing how they're emanating this light from within because they're immersed into the darkness of the night. They're not afraid of the dark. They're connected to the universal mother, which is not, evil. It's like people think darkness, it's like there's this automatic connotation with evil because people are afraid of the darkness, but this isn't that kind of darkness. This is the universal void of when you look up at the stars. It's dark at night so you can see the stars. If it wasn't dark in the sky, you couldn't see the stars shine. It's that. Okay? So actually, meditation is surrendering into nothingness. It's surrendering into releasing your attachment to the character. And from that emerges this knowingness of your light and your ability to create your reality from that expanded state, because You're not so identified with this character, this limited character in this story of this one life. You have some malleability there to be able to timeline jump. And wrapping it up here with the Queen of Water, remember to have compassion for yourself and to flow. Allow yourself to flow in the directions of your dreams and to express yourself fluidly simply for the joy in and of itself. And I'm seeing Cancer energy here. Also on the crowd, there's a Holy Trinity. So allow yourself to just create for the sake of creating, to express for the joy of expressing, and to lose yourself in the moments, to be here now and fall in love with what it is that you do. And never mind what the haters say. Haters gonna hate, man. But actually, instead of dimming your light and being able to hold and be okay, like, yeah, whatever, and haters gonna hate, just expand your light, because there's all these people that love and support you. And there's all these people that are gonna appreciate what it is that you have to share. And you never know whose life your work, your magic, your art might be meant to touch today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I just want to say on a personal note that I'm just so thankful for how this channel is growing and this beautiful community that's forming. And like, honestly, I had really just let go and I was almost on the edge of giving up on this. And honestly, had uploaded that last video a couple of days ago and just completely forgotten about it. And I was really going through some stuff because I've been doing this work for free for, in different forms for almost 9 years now. And I mean, I've had some support of my work, I've had some things here and there, but it's been a really long journey. And I've had to work a lot of jobs and a lot of side jobs, and I have a family, and um, and I've just always done this because this is what I really wanted to do. And, and this is my goal, is to help as many people as I can possible. And yeah, I'm really excited to see this growing and expanding, and just for all your guys' love and support. I'm just so excited. I feel so blessed and so thankful. And and so I just let it go. And then somebody messaged me today, and they were like, "Hey man, did you see that video was blowing up? How did you do that?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then I looked it up. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I had completely forgotten I even made that. I was like, it was not that last video was not premeditated at all. I was literally like laying in bed, and my guides were just like, "You need to get up and share this message. Like, there's thousands of people that need to hear this message right now." And I just got up, and that was what came through. So that's just power to the testament of following our guidance and knowing that the messages will come through at the right time. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, somebody in the comments said that they would like to join a workshop. Just letting you guys know that I've opened up registration for Clear and Open Channel, which is my signature workshop series that I've been working on in depth for 3 years now and never launched before. And now I finally feel like I'm ready to hold the container for it. So we're doing, just an initial group of people. I've made it as affordable as I can, as possible. Um, there's some people out there charging at least 3 times more than what I'm charging for the kind of coaching that I'm offering. But anyways, I just want to let you guys know that the tickets are available for that, and we're going to be starting on January 3rd in the energy of the new year on the weekend. And it's all about basically clearing our channel, doing the work to clear our patterns, clear our blocks, and open up the channel, the energetic channel, right? So it's energy work as well as shadow work and meditation and alignment, aligning ourselves, tuning ourselves into alignment, and also about unlocking our intuition and tapping in and really being able to hear the voice of our soul and use practices that help us to translate that, to learn how to be translators of those frequencies into expression, and then supporting us in stepping into actually sharing our gifts with others as well. So if that's something you're interested in, you can get a ticket below. And I also have a $7 guide called Voice of the Soul if you would prefer to have a sample of that work. That is a standalone journey. You can keep it for life, and I feel like it is very well worth it for the cost of a Starbucks to learn practices like very simple prompting for automatic writing and processes to be able to open up your channel. So I'm going to include the links below to those. And I just, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Peace and many blessings.